Welcome. I'm very excited to be here with all of you today. My name is Bethany. I work as a part of the professional development team with Nearpod. Really honored to be able to connect with you. I'm here to help you today. I'm here to just kind of be a resource for you. So we are going to, I have some resources actually to give you as well that will be hands-on. But we are going to be focusing on kind of that create feature within Nearpod so that you can work on those 5 emergency lessons that you've been working on. And also to answer any and all of your questions. Sound okay?
Yay.
Sound good? Okay, so at any time you need me to stop, slow down, speed up, any questions, please feel free to let me know. I am glad to do any and all of that. So I thought if we can go ahead and start, if you're already not logged in through your account, through your Nearpod account, if you can go ahead and do that. And you can do that right from nearpod.com. If this is brand new, if this is the first time that you've heard someone say Nearpod, we want to especially say welcome. And also to let you know, this is an awesome way to engage your students. So we're going to show you new features. We're going to show how we're going to make your life easier. And again, I'm going to show you really briefly some little key tips and things, and then completely turn it over into your hands so that you can kind of use this as that hands-on workshop tool. Okay? Good deal? All right, so if you're logged in through nearpod.com, perfect. So I do have it projected here. I know it's a little bit harder to see. I am going to be providing you a pin here in just a moment. You are going to come always to the main home page where you will see those tabs, and there at the bottom of the tabs there is a help me decide. And within that you're going to be able to get a brief overview of what each of those tabs mean. So kind of think about that home page. So every time you log in, you're going to be directed to that home page. Think of it as your launch off page. Think of it as your connection page to be able to access your lessons, be able to go in and create and customize. Okay? Perfect. So again, that help me decide will give you a brief overview of what all of those tabs are. We're going to start today by looking at the Explore tab. Now the Explore tab is your window to the Nearpod content store. And let me tell you, the content store, not just because I am a part of the Nearpod team, but it is amazing in regards to the amount of content that you have. It's growing all the time, and everything here is editable. So if you would like to join me really quickly, I do want to show you how you can actually take a lesson, and as I said, everything is editable within the content store. Your teams have what is known as the Nearpod Unlimited content package. So you're going to have access to everything that you're seeing. So if you do, if you're within your account, and you can select Explore, and we're going to go directly to that content store. So you'll see these are the collection of books that are available. At the bottom of the content store, you're always going to find what is known as a private library. So this is something that is featured particularly for your school and district. So your any admins on your accounts will be able to share in lessons there. So that's what that private the library is. All right. So what I would love for us to do is to kind of search some things just to see what you can find. We were looking before in regards to art and entertainment. We did find a lesson in regards to murals. I believe it was called lavatory murals, which sounds kind of intriguing. But anyway, so feel free to go ahead if you want to search something, and I'm just going to show you really quickly again how you can bring that into your library and launch it. Now again, if this is familiar to you, if you've got questions, you want to stop me, please feel free to do that at any time. So I put in the word murals. Here's a particular one here. Now don't forget, even if it's out of your grade level, all of this content you can customize. So you can even copy and paste parts of a lesson as well. So if I'm interested in something, I would click on that individual lesson. It would give me the ability to preview the content. So I can preview, just a little arrow in the middle, and if you look at the top left-hand corner, there's going to be the two little arrows. It will give you a full screen preview perspective. So if you decide, awesome, this is the one that I want, I would love to add this to my library, follow the prompts there on the bottom of that lesson. And you'll see, because you do have that Nearpod Unlimited perspective, you'll see a button that says Add to My Library in blue. When you click that, that will immediately turn to green and will give you the ability, it'll say then Show in My Library, and you'll be able to add that lesson directly into your library. Questions about adding a lesson from the content store? Awesome, I've seen some that are coming up here. Bringing it in. Just to let you know too, you might be thinking, okay, great.
I'm sorry, ma'am.
Sure, please.
I use it all the time.
Yes.
In my classes, as you can see.
Yes.
Do you have a limit in storage?
Okay, awesome question. So the question is about the limit in storage. You do have a large a connection within your school and district accounts, so you're going to be pretty good in regards to that. Anything that is coming in that you're creating takes up more storage than the paid content, than those other things. So I'm happy to get you the exact specifics for that one as well. But you shouldn't have to worry in regards to what you're creating. If you ever were to downsize, or if you were to move, or those kind of things, you can always touch base and connect out. You wouldn't necessarily lose things altogether. It's just with different accounts, you do have different sizes for them.
You have your lesson plan, okay?
Yes.
And they allow you to have your lesson plan only with a minimum of 2 slides. Okay? That's what it says.
So
if you have only one, they don't allow you. Now,
that is correct.
To create questions over that, you just have to go again to Untitled Nearpod and then open the questions and whatever you want right there. Or can you make them ahead of time and then post them?
Okay, awesome. So the 2 questions. What is the minimum amount of slides that you can have in a lesson or a Nearpod presentation? The answer is 2. That's the minimum amount, okay? So the second question is, are you able to create questions or things outside and then bring it in? Now, in regards to the assessment activities, and we'll take a look at that in just a second, that's going to be all of those hands-on, the open-ended question, the poll, all those, the draw it, etc. All of those are created specifically within Nearpod. But in regards to the content, if you wanted to create your questions maybe in a Word doc or a Google Doc, and then you could just copy and paste something, and you can bring things in. There is some workability that you can do with that also.
Because I noticed also that if it's not PDF, Nearpod does not allow you to get it. You have to convert it into PDF.
Okay, so this is the other part of that question, which is a great one. In regards to being able to bring in your own content within the teaching platform. So it is user-friendly to bring in different types, but the PDF, if you convert your Google slide, your PowerPoint into a PDF, what it will do is it recognizes it as a static or that static image, and you can bring it in. It's not going to change the layout of it. It'll kind of keep it more concrete. So you can use it by other ways as well, but using it as a PDF can be pretty user-friendly.
How you do it without transforming into PDF? How you do it?
To bring in the file, if you save it, if you're able to save it as a PDF. So
no, without saving as a PDF.
Okay.
Yes, a regular.
As a regular.
If it's one of the school accounts, it shouldn't show the price.
Okay, awesome question. So, and I'm going to come back, I'm not going to forget, okay? So just to piggyback here, she's saying in regards to knowing what kind of account you have, if you have any questions, yes, all of your content should be shown here as accessible. If not, go to the upper right-hand corner on your device. You're going to see what's known as a little avatar icon. It looks like a face. So if you click on that little face, that will drop down. This is what is actually going to give you access. Okay, it's going to be on the upper right-hand corner. There's a little face, you got it, and then you'll see that it'll tell you your access. Okay, so and if it doesn't say for your school, your district, then we will definitely can just just tag me and we will take care of that, okay? No worries, no worries. Just to piggyback on his question about bringing the PDF, is there another way? There is a PDF viewer within Nearpod where you can find a document and it'll bring it in as a PDF, but that's for like an individual document or slide that if you wanted the students to be able to easily navigate that, and we can definitely take a look at that also. Okay? Question?
I am a silver user. I used it about 2 years ago. Last year I used Nearpod.
Okay.
Is that okay that I stay like a silver user and not district user? It makes
Okay.
any difference?
You got it, you got it. So what, anyone that's not showing as a district user, I'll make sure to circle around and we'll get that taken care of for you. Okay, no worries, no worries. But yes, if you want to double check again, when you log in through your account, that little face, that avatar icon, click on that, and that will give you your account access and the information for your individual account.
It says smile only, that's the only thing it says. It doesn't say anything else. Mine.
It has a smiley face on it.
Yes, it does, but this is all it says.
Okay, no problem. So click over here.
Sign.
No worries. And see that little face? Try that one. Perfect. You're a district user.
Okay.
Awesome.
Thank you.
Awesome, awesome. All right. Perfect. Okay, how is everybody doing if you were able to bring something within your library? I just wanted to show you too, when you're searching within the content store at the top, there is that filters tab, as well as the link to be able to find additional, you can look for particular information there as well. I could look up art if I wanted to. Before I actually bring us in so that we can start creating and you can get hands-on, and I'll be more than glad to answer any questions. I do want to double check. Has anyone here used the notes feature before? Anyone use student notes taking feature? Okay, yes, no? Okay, no worries. So I'm going to actually show you how you can activate the student note taking feature. So this is something that your students can actually pull up anytime that you are launching a lesson, whether it's student-paced or whether it's live session or live lesson presentation. And they're going to be able to take notes throughout your lesson, and then they can email it to you, they can email it to themselves, or save it to a Google Drive. Okay? So if you go back with me, if you can go back to within your account. Now, if you are currently as a silver user, this is a feature that's accessible with your school and district accounts. So definitely we'll give you some resources so you can do this for later. You can always reach out. Your tech troopers know all about this as well. So on the upper right-hand corner, again, if you could go back to that avatar icon, and next to your name, this is going to be for our district and school users. You see that little gear next to your name? That works as a settings gear. If you click on that little gear, it will bring you to your school user, your access page. And then if you look right there, there's going to be an advanced tab. Click on advanced. And you'll see there's a little shape there on the right-hand side. It will allow you to actually turn on or activate that student note-taking feature. So that when you're in a lesson as a student perspective, on the upper right-hand side, there's always this little arrow. It's a black circle with a white arrow inside. If the students click on that, that's where they would be able to exit the lesson, and they're going to see a notes. Now don't forget, it's only if you activate it, so you have to make sure for district users, school users, to be able to have that activated, and then they can go take the notes. If you ever wanted to turn it off, no worries, you can do it anytime by just going on back. Remember, it's just your avatar face, and then the little gear next to your name. Okay, and then you can just click right inside that and turn it on. Questions? I know that was pretty fast.
Where do you have to click to turn it on?
Yes. So you have to
When?
turn it. It'll turn
Right
into like a aqua blue color.
Yeah, I got it. Thank you.
Yes, and we've got awesome tech troopers in the room as well. So if there's any questions, feel free to grab someone. Okay. All right. Perfect. Any questions about that note taking? I just wanted to make sure to point that out for you. Okay. So I promised you some resources, didn't I? Yes, and I have them. So some of your awesome colleagues have actually taken and customized these resources for you. So what I'm going to actually do is I'm going to launch this as a student paste pin for you right now. Feel free, when I launch this, to write this pin down. So you will see, okay, just in case, this is brand new for you. When you have a lesson in your library, whether you brought it from the content store, whether it's something that you have created, you will have the ability to launch it in two ways. One, live lesson. Okay, that's that teacher facilitator perspective. Two, that's student paced. That's that independent perspective. So that's actually what you're going to be using for your emergency plans. We are taking the perspective to have all of these will be launched as student paced. Okay, so that they can take it themselves and work on it, and you're going to collect all the data. Nearpod also, as a formative assessment tool, automatically collects all data for you. So even from your student-paced lessons, everything is going to be gathered for you automatically. Okay, so you can see there, that's how I would do it. So if I'm going to come in and launch it as a student-paced, from a desktop or laptop, the three little dots that you're going to see within a lesson gives you the ability to share your lessons with colleagues. Okay, I can duplicate a lesson. That can be helpful if you wanted to differentiate or customize different class periods, etc. I can organize folders. I'll organize my lessons to folders. Add it to an existing folder or create a new folder right there. And then I can also export a lesson as a PDF. That can be helpful again if you wanted to have a hard copy for study guide perspective, if you wanted to have for offline user, etc. Reports, you can get reports from individual lessons, as well as, remember that home page, that launching page, that has the reports for all of your lessons as well. Okay, perfect. So as I promised, I'm going to launch this as a student paste pin. Feel free to go ahead and jot this pin down. The pin is FBSHW. Again, FB as in boy, S as in Sam, H as in house, W as in wind. This student paste pin, all of them, all student paste pins, when you launch them, are valid for 30 days once they have been launched. And then, if someone goes in like on day 29, it will extend for an additional 30 days. So you pretty much have that unlimited access, okay? Now I know today that we are, when you're creating your lessons, they are going to be, all of your pins and things will be saved within one of your administrator's accounts, so that we'll have that that immediate access there as well, okay? But just to give you a little background here, but this is for you today. This includes videos. So we've got a video here for reports. We've got a video here for creating, which this is what will our main focus is for today as well. And you're going to see there are some extra connections. We've got a page in there for our teacher resources page, additional trainings, our link to our help center. There's information about a great program with Nearpod called the Nearpod Certified Educator, or NCE. Now I know we all know about being certified educators, but this is an awesome program. It's a free program that you can connect and be able to receive additional resources. We have a Google Circle community that has been created and works as a forum. You'll be able to connect with teachers all over the world as well to receive tips and tricks. So there's some awesome things. That link is in the resources that I provided for you. I encourage you to feel free to take a look at that, to go through, begin the process. One of the things that you have to do for becoming an NCE is to attend a training. And guess what you're doing today? Ding, ding, ding. So you're like one of the third of the ways done, okay? As well as being able to create a lesson. And what are you doing today? Ding, ding, ding. You're done. And then launch 5 or more times within your classroom or setting. Okay, so that's it. That's for the Nearpod Certified Educator. So that is in there for you also. All right. Okay, there you go. So, shall we look at editing? Shall we look at going in for creating? Before I do that, I want to point out to you how you're able to get student reports. Has anyone had a chance
Sure.
yet to access reports? You have. Okay, awesome. Tell me, and how have you accessed it? Have you gone?
Nearpod actually emails me on a PDF with the reports, because I choose like after the test to have Nearpod email me, and then the report just tells me all of the grades that the students received on that assessment. So it's all done for me, as long as it's multiple choice. If it's like fill in the blank, or if it's passes that they have to write, then I do have to check it manually, but it's really easy.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Awesome, perfect. So he just mentioned one of the ways that you're able to get reports. There's actually 3 ways that you are able to access reports within the Nearpod platform. Okay, so I'm going to actually launch this as a live lesson. Now again, that's a facilitator or teacher led. For your emergency lessons, you're going to be taking that self to be that, both of those perspectives. If you're within the pin that I've given you right now, that's self-paced. So feel free to use the arrows and you can go right through. So any student pace pin, there you go. This is going to be completely your pacing. Okay, that's the difference with the student paced pin versus the live lesson pin or that teacher facilitator led. So as you said again, so feel free, you can go on through, be able to, yep. Awesome, you got the videos going on over there too. I love it. Okay, perfect. So I'm going to launch this particular one as a live lesson just to show you the report perspective. So you're going to see within your pins, you can share them through email, social media, link them through an LMS, even single sign-on with Google Classroom. And when I come within a lesson, this is the one that I launched to you. Remember, he was talking about being able to email the reports to himself. When you launch it as a live lesson, you're going to see at the top this Nearpod logo does give you the ability to go in and access the reports right there. So that Nearpod logo is a drop-down feature. Within there is what we call on-the-fly features as well. Again, this is going to be in a live session. So today we are a little more focused in regards to the student pace when you're developing. But that Nearpod logo in a live lesson gives you on-the-fly features which work as spontaneous teaching tools that you can implement anytime during your lesson. And you're going to, again, any data that's collected, you automatically capture that. So, but those activities wouldn't be added to your lesson unless you were to manually add them. So there's the reports right there. Another way that I can get the reports is by going to the individual lesson. So I'm going to use my little arrow up here in the right-hand corner, the left-hand corner, to resume my lesson. That means I can come back for later. So now I can go within my lesson and I can get the reports from that individual lesson right there. The 3 little dots, and there's it'll say reports, or I can go back to my home page. Now again, we're talking about the perspective from a desktop or laptop. So back on my home page, I just want to show you that main tab that says reports. Your reports will be kept indefinitely in your library as long as you have that lesson in your library. Okay? So as long as the lesson exists in a library, the reports will remain there for you. You're able to go right in and click. Now, if you haven't launched anything from your library yet, you wouldn't see the reports yet. But in the resources that I provided for you, there's a video on the reports as well. Okay? I can download the reports as a PDF or CSV file. I can do it for a whole session view or by individual students. Awesome way to build portfolios, used for conferencing, lots of different ways. And then, as he had mentioned as well, you can always go in, and the other thing that you can do is go right in and email it to yourself through that share feature. So there's another way to be able to do it. One little tip with a student-paced report, you're going to actually see that your student-paced reports are going to have this little blue house next to it. It's a little blue home icon next to a student-paced report that indicates to you that that was from a student-paced lesson versus if it came from a live lesson. So your live lessons are not labeled with that little blue home icon. Okay? Question?
I was just stretching my hand.
Oh, okay, no worries. Question back here. You got it.
So that means the students can send JPEG files, like if they take a picture of work and they have it on their desktop and they can send it as a report, and I can have JPEGs instead of like, I'm using the reports for quizzes, but I teach, that's why I teach drawing.
Okay.
So they want, if I want to have a folder of reports showing the image of the things that they do, can
Yes.
they do that?
Yes. Okay. So if everyone heard his question, he's asking if students share back a PDF, a JPEG, okay, that PNG within Nearpod, can I see that in reports? The answer is yes. So the best way for students to participate with that is with an activity called the Draw It feature. So that's a really nice way to think about a blended environment, meaning you're taking images like you're seeing and then sharing them back in the platform to blend that technology, that perspective. So if I went back within the reports, it'll have, if you take a look, if you're looking at any report, each of the different activities will be listed. Yes, you're welcome if you want to scoot up to be able to see it a little better. Each of the activities will be listed. So you can see it right there, quiz, poll, open-ended question, draw it. So within our draw it, this was a lesson that I was had launched out yesterday. So you'll see I can click on that individual image. This is what was captured, okay? So any activity that students participate with, it is captured within the platform so that you're able to download that. Remember, individual or by whole session or even email it. Okay? Does that answer your question okay?
Yes.
Okay, perfect. Perfect. All right. So did you get a chance to kind of get the feel of how that student-paced lesson works by the pin that I provided for you? So that's how your students are going to see your lessons, and this is how they will be able to participate. You can see they can go back and forth. So just as you are leading a lesson, when you would lead it as a live session, that's the same mentality that your students would be able to then to navigate it. Any questions between a live lesson and a student-paced lesson perspective? Doing okay? Yes.
Yeah, the student-paced lesson, when I give them the code, I don't know yet how I can enter the lesson. So as they were looking into it, I don't know if I can explain it well, but
No, I think I'm understanding.
with the live lesson,
Mm-hmm.
I can click outside and see
Okay.
and see what they're seeing.
Yes.
But when I give the code for the independent
Yes.
lesson,
Mhm.
I don't know how to go to the lesson so I can see it. So if I'm going to show them some slides at the same time that they're on their own,
Okay.
I have a problem with that.
Awesome question. So his question is, I'm launching a student pace. How do I see what the students are seeing as the facilitator, as the teacher? Couple solutions for that. You're able to launch it yourself so you take that same pin that they provided and you go and enter into that join tab and enter yourself as a student. So if I put FB, SHW that we had from earlier, so you take the same pin that you gave your students, and now I'm going to go in, it's going to prompt me for my name. You'll always see that happen. There's a little additional option for additional information, and now I'm a student on my projection up here, okay? So, or if you wanted to be able to see, now the difference is, you are correct, you're not going to be able to see your students, what they're doing from their device. You can see it from their devices, or when they start submitting data, then you'll collect all of that within the reports for sure.
Okay.
But that's going to be the difference there.
There's no interaction, immediate interaction then.
It's not going to be the interaction between the teacher and the student. That's in the live lesson. That's a great question. Okay, so if you wanted to leave something live, then you would launch it as live. Then I have you in regards to keeping you on task.
You
So
can
you're-
do that, let's say on a Friday, you leave it, as a live lesson, you go home, you stay the whole weekend home, can you do that, and then come back on Monday?
If you launch it as a live lesson, and then, now the live lesson is the teacher or the facilitator controlled or led.
Yes, but my question is, can
Okay.
you leave it for 2 or 3 days in a row?
Yep, you mean just like leave it up and it, yes, you can. I mean, if you go into your pin, live lesson pins are valid for 15 days once they have been launched. Student-paced pins valid for 30 days once they have been launched. And like I said, if you go on day 29, it extends it for an additional 30 days, okay? So yes, if you go back in, you can always resume that lesson, okay? And it'll give you the option, if you go back in.
In other words, I'm sorry to cut you, let's say, all of us know that some substitute teachers don't do the work. You stay home, you send the work to the students from home as a live lesson, can they access the lesson?
Okay, this is a phenomenal question. Can I send a lesson as a live lesson to students for them to finish at home? The answer would be you need to use a student-paced pin because the live lesson is not going to allow a student to navigate through, okay? Because it is teacher controlled, it is facilitator, teacher led, you got it. So then, but no worries, because let's say that you haven't finished, that's okay. You can go right back in, go to my library, just grab a student-paced pin, and then you'd be able to launch that, okay? So you can even give them both. So if you haven't finished a lesson and you need them to finish it off, just go right to that lesson, provide that student-paced pin, and you're golden. You'll be able to have them go in, and yes, remember 30 days once it has been launched, with that continual 30 if they go in at those last days, okay? Awesome question, awesome questions. Okay, so shall we create? Okay, if you can go back with me to your home page. Now I know there's a lot of these activities that we haven't gone into, that you haven't actually been able to see. We have some new features that have actually been added in the last couple weeks as well, which is very exciting. So all of these things, again, you're going to be able to customize into your own content. So now we would love to kind of take this perspective. We're going to put this right back at your fingertips so we can focus on your emergency plan approach and really be able to help you to finalize and customize these, okay? So if you go in through your home page, and I can go through Create. All right. Everyone okay with finding back on that home page? Anytime you're within a student-paced lesson, don't forget that little arrow that I talked about from the student perspective in the upper right-hand corner when you're looking at your student screen. If you're in a lesson, that'll allow you to exit that lesson. And then when you go back to the home page, we're going to look for the Create tab. Do any of you have PowerPoints that you have worked with previously? Google Slides, Keynote presentations, PDF documents that you want to use?
I have it in my library.
You have it in your library. Awesome. Okay, now are you speaking of your Nearpod library or?
Yes, ma'am.
Oh, you've already got it.
A lot of them.
Hey, that's phenomenal. Okay, we're gonna look to you for guidance. And
But I use it differently. For my piano and for my guitar classes. Then since it doesn't allow me to do it with just one document,
Okay.
so I repeat the same one so that some of them cannot see well from the board, so they will look from their phone and then they copy the music.
Okay.
That's the way I use it.
Yeah, nice. One of the things that I love about Nearpod is the way that we're able to transform and work the way that you need the platform to work. So meeting specific needs. So one of the keys is being able to promote individual student success. So really finding those unique ways. If it doesn't work one way, let's try it somewhere else. Let's see how we can bring in your content, your document, however it might work best for you. So always kind of take that perspective when you're creating. If you're running into a wall, grab one of your tech troopers, grab one of us. We are glad to help you find it. So I would like to just double check with you. how you can bring in your documents. Okay, so if you have a PowerPoint, maybe that has already been created, one easy way to do it, very simple. Save your PowerPoint as a PDF document and save it to your desktop. You can even just do it temporarily if you want to. This is just one way that you can do it. And all I have to do is just drag and drop that document right over the top of Create. That's all I have to do. It's going to ask me to okay my status, and then I can come right in, and you'll see that my slides will automatically populate there. Okay? So this is when we are within the Create feature. I just want to point out, and then we'll go ahead and circulate and give you this hands-on work time. Okay, so we are here to answer your questions. We're here really to help you to facilitate, and anything else that you might have questions on, we are glad to answer for you as well.
Does everyone know how to drag and drop their previously made PowerPoints and presentations into Nearpod?
Yes.
Yeah,
Everybody
everybody
okay with that?
Can it
Yes.
get activated or no? We're still waiting?
Yes, we will reach out, right, yes, okay? We will get it.
My question was different. Now I answer myself. If you can create questions, right there, I saw how you do it.
Yes, okay. So just to reconfirm with you, if everyone is okay with bringing in documents, once you have your own PowerPoint, Keynote, Google Slide presentation within, you come to the Add Slide feature, and this is what's going to allow you to add contents. Okay, these are all of these things. Our new features that have just been introduced in the last couple weeks here have been a Sway product. We have Sway now that you can add. There are virtual field trips. You also have 3D objects. Yeah,
Is there lights up here that can turn off so we can see better?
it's only an all or yes. But I can move my screen here as well. Okay, so you can take a look there. And then you can also bring in activities. When you add activities, now again I'm from the Create tab. I went to add a slide. Then I went to add activity. The activities are going to be those assessment activities where you're able to collect data back from your students. So this includes open-ended questions, poll, quiz, draw it, fill in the blanks. Okay, memory tests, all those pieces. Okay?
Good. It's right here.
Are there any questions before we start to jump in and where you can start to work hands-on? Yes.
I don't know if I should be asking at this point.
Okay.
Like,
Okay.
for example, I have one here that says, I wanted to share this Nearpod lesson with you.
Yes.
And it says click to link.
Okay.
But how do I link it to mine? How do I put that lesson in mine now?
Okay, awesome question. So someone has shared a lesson with you.
Correct.
Okay? And it should give you, if it's a view only, you're not going to be able to add it to your library.
Okay.
When it's not a view only, it'll have two options. The one on the top in that email will say click to view it. The bottom one will say click to add it to your library or something in those words. Okay? Now, when I am sharing a lesson with you, with a colleague, with someone else, within your own content, there's going to be a little box that you can check off, and it'll say share editable content. If you do not check that little box, what it's going to do is it'll only share that view perspective. So if you do get something as a view only from someone else, you may want to just double check with them and see if they can share it as editable. Now, some of our paid content, even though we have the unlimited, you are able to share it with that view only perspective, but you couldn't necessarily share a paid lesson as an editable copy, unless it's something that you've
But
customized.
it says talking more about the word of the day that we have already.
They
in
created a
place.
word.
Yes.
And it says here, add a copy of this lesson to your library.
Okay,
So when I
perfect.
click on it, I get to this.
And it's
So
the whole
how do I
thing
add that to
forward.
mine?
Okay, so when you click on this, do me a favor, go back up to where it says My Library. Click on that. And the name, is it one of these lessons here?
No.
Those are
It's-
old already.
Those are other ones.
Yeah.
If I click on it again, it's called communication. I wonder if it's there.
There's another way that we could see because it's so tiny. You see, this is the way from the 26.
I wonder if it's that one.
Is that
Once I
one.
click it, it just automatically
Yes.
does it?
Yes.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
All right. Here's the great question and the solution. So she said, once I click that, does it automatically add it to my library? The answer is yes. If you receive an email that says view it in my library, you click on that. You need to be logged into your account, but it will automatically take that within your own library. Awesome question. Okay? Well, thank you for your awesome attention. We are now going to kind of take that perspective as hands-on. We are anything else that you need to see that you're not sure. We are going to be building the lessons. Remember that these emergency lessons are focused within your content area and also in that student pace perspective. So you may want to think about adding in video, adding in audio. Don't forget, just like I showed you, you can always test your lessons out. I encourage that. Myself, I do that also when I'm developing and working with content. Is I'll launch it as a student-paced pin and go in my own lesson and test it out just to see the perspective of it. Kind of test it out and I'll be like, oh, wait a second, that doesn't make sense to me, so I need to go back in and fix it. Awesome part is you can always update and edit your lesson at any time. Okay? All right, any other questions or things before we turn it over so we can be hands-on and we'll circulate the room? Please,
Sorry.
please, no, don't apologize. Questions are the best.
When you're creating a slide, can I put more than one image or just limited to one image?
I love that question. When I am creating a slide, can I input or can I include more than one image? When you're creating a slide within Nearpod, there are two slide perspectives. Again, we're talking about create, okay? So you'll see that on the content button, create. There is a new slide feature that's called Slide Editor. And this actually allows you to include two images to split that screen, okay? You could also add in video if you want, or audio there. And then you can also just do the plain slide too. Another way to do that is if you created it outside, so like in PowerPoint or something, if you were able to bring in the multiple images and then bring it in, again, it's going to be a static image or that content image, but you could bring it in that way too. But Nearpod does allow you to use the multiple images within a slide. Awesome question. All right, well, thank you so much for your time today. We are looking forward to now helping you create, be hands-on. Remember these 5 lessons, student-paced perspective, and anything else we want to add in before we conclude our recording? Thank you so much for viewing in. We're always glad to help, and happy creating.